Om Shanti, and a very good morning to all. A very, very happy new year to each and every one. Today we are going to read the Murli dated 14th November 1987. The title of the Murli is The Way to Become a Worthy of Worship Deity Soul is to imbibe the power of purity. In today's Murli, Baba has deeply explained how does the power of purity forms the foundation, the basis of a Brahman life. At quite a few places, Baba has explained that if at all you experience sorrow or peacelessness in any form, then that is because of some form of impurity. The Murli is very subtle, deep, where Baba has used the word purity in very attractive ways. Like he says, pure love, pure vision and attitude, then relationships of pure love. And then he also says, blessings of purity, blessings of purity. So these little short attractive phrases that actually take you to dive deep into what is Baba trying to explain with the word purity. Right? So let's read the Murli together. Today, the spiritual flame is looking at his spiritual moth. Every spiritual moth has come flying to this spiritual gathering with their wings of zeal and enthusiasm. This spiritual happy gathering is a spiritual gathering which only the spiritual father and the spiritual children know. All the many types of attraction of Maya seem valueless in front of this spiritual attraction. Normally, the moth gets attracted to the flame, towards that light, right? But here, Baba is talking about spiritual attraction. So, Baba says that many types of attraction of Maya seem valueless in front of this spiritual attraction. They are experienced as being without any essence. This spiritual attraction makes you cheerful always at the present time and also in your many future births. What I was talking about? Spiritual attraction. It makes you cheerful always. And so, what kind of attraction do we have between Baba and I, the soul? That is also a very subtle point to check. Is it like based on anything that is something has happened in my life and then I start remembering Baba the most? Or is it like, even if I am asked to sit and remember him in my busy schedule, do I enjoy that moment with him, or is it like a delaying? Uh, I'll do this a bit later. So do I have that attraction between me and the Father? Right? It is an attraction that makes you step away from the waves of many types of sorrow and peacelessness. This is why all you spiritual moths have come to this gathering. Bapdada is pleased to see all the moths on each one's forehead, the signs of pure love, the relationships of pure love, and the pure vision and attitude of a pure life are sparkling. So this is clear, signs of pure love, then pure vision and attitude, pure life. But we may evaluate the relationships. Are these based on just pure love? Because at times there's क्या कहते हैं मोह की भी रगें होती हैं. So that is also not pure love. Many a times it is based on ego. Many a times it is based on that swat prakash. It's not selfless. So what kind of relationship I, the soul, I have, and in what percentage have I been able to convert it into that form of pure love? Because there are also the Lokik relationships that I have, not only the alokik ones. Alokik ones are chalo, okay, so can be handled, but this kind of pure love needs to be there in the Lokik stuff also. Right? Further, Baba says, a crown of light, the symbol of all these pure things, is sparkling on each one. The speciality of the confluence-aged Brahman life is the symbol of purity, a crown of light, which every Brahman receives from the Father. This crown is a sign of great souls, fortunate, godly souls, and the highest on high souls. So, have all of you become those who are wearing such a crown? Bap Dada, the mother and father, give every child, from the moment they take birth, the blessing, may you be pure. If there is no purity, there is no Brahman life. From the beginning of establishment until now, the obstacles have been because of purity, because the foundation of purity is the foundation for 21 births. Achieving purity is the basis of you Brahman souls easily being taken into the flying stage. If you can imagine that, if you can imagine a bird, when it tries to fly, it starts flapping its wings, right? When it has to go higher. But when it actually reaches a certain stage, it will not flap its wings and it will be just open like that, and the bird will continue to fly, like just as we see the flight of an eagle, or when we say that just rise like a phoenix. But they don't have to flap their wings many times. If they've reached that level, then they only continue to fly, and above everything, they enjoy that flight. So purity is that kind of flying stage. And it makes you so light, and it takes you above everything, beyond everything. And you start experiencing that flying state. Further, Baba says, just as the philosophy of karma is said to be deep, so too the definition of purity is extremely deep. Purity is a canopy of protection with which you can protect yourself from the many obstacles of Maya. Purity is a canopy of protection with which you can protect yourself from the many obstacles of Maya. Purity is said to be the mother of peace and happiness. Any type of impurity makes you experience sorrow and peacelessness. So, throughout the day, check, do I experience any wave of sorrow or peacelessness at any time? The seed of that is impurity. Whether it is because of the main vices or because of a subtle form of the vices. This is very deep. Throughout the day, I was talking about throughout the day. So at any point of time during the day, let's say in the morning, maybe my stage was good, and towards the afternoon, it has just fluctuated a bit. Sorrow, if I'm experiencing peacelessness, then that is, I need to check that maybe some kind of impurity has entered in my thoughts, maybe in my words, maybe in my actions, right? And Baba also underlined, it can be because of the main vices or also the subtle form of vice. Sometimes the intention behind the karma is not pure. Sometimes while we are talking to somebody, the intention that I am thinking is something else, but I'm pretending outside that it's something else. Many times this also happens. A pure life, yeah. So the Baba says, a pure life means one in which there is no name or trace of sorrow or peacelessness. If there is the slightest experience of sorrow due to any reason, it is because of a lack of complete purity. A pure life means a life of blessings received from Baptada. There must not be such thoughts or words on the lips of Brahmins as, because of this situation or because of this person's behavior, I experienced sorrow. Baba is not going to take this reason. Sometimes, in an ordinary way, you do say such words or even experience them. Those are not the words of a pure Brahman life. That means the blame game ends here. We cannot say that it's because it's so and so person. It's always you. We need to sit, analyze, check what have I done wrong, because it's always me, nobody else. Further, a Brahman life means a life of happiness at every second. Even if there is a scene of sorrow where you have the power of purity, you don't experience sorrow in any scene of sorrow. For, like the Father, who is the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness, you have to become a bestower of the blessings of peace and happiness in an atmosphere of sorrow and give those sorrowful souls a drop of peace and happiness. You become a master bestower of happiness and transform that sorrow into an atmosphere of spiritual happiness. This is known as being the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. Since the power of science is able to finish someone's pain and suffering for a short time, then can the power of purity, that is, the power of silence, not finish pain and suffering? The medicine of science has temporary power, but how much power does the power of purity and the blessings of purity have? This is something new. The blessings of purity. Maybe we can discuss this towards the end. But how can this actually work? The power of purity, the blessings of purity, how can they finish the pain and the suffering? Baba says, according to the time, when people nowadays get tired of medicine for one reason or another, and when their illness becomes critical, then at such a time, they will come to you pure deity souls to receive blessings. Take us away from sorrow and peacelessness forever. The vision and attitude of purity is not an ordinary power. This sentence is very strong, very powerful. The vision and attitude of purity is not an ordinary power. While we move throughout, we often forget that no matter what, each and every Brahman, a true Brahman, has this power of purity that can create, that can do wonders. Maybe for others, maybe for my own self, maybe if it's only a slight thought of, changing or transforming a sanskar, or maybe it is something huge as healing my own body and my own pain. Purity can work wonders. And Baba says the vision and attitude of purity is not an ordinary power. This powerful drishti and this attitude over a short time enable you to attain something for all time. Physical doctors and physical hospitals are now increasing at this time. But in spite of that, doctors don't have any time, nor is there any space in the hospitals. There is always a queue of those who are ill. As you progress further, they won't be able to go to the hospitals or doctors for any medicine, even if they want to. The majority will give up. What will they do then? Where will they go when they have given up with medicine? There will be queues in front of you people. Just as we now continue to ask for mercy or blessings in front of the non-living images of you and the Father, saying, O merciful one, have mercy. In the same way, they will come to ask you, living, pure, worthy of worship souls, O pure deities, pure goddesses, have mercy for us. So much is going to be the pain and the suffering that maybe any of the medicines will not work. Yesterday, I was reading about one of the dadis, and it was a new Brahmin soul who has just done their course. It was just like very old, maybe. The story that I'm telling is maybe in the beginning, those beginning days. And the soul promised Daddy that, I will be here tomorrow at the time of Amrit Vela. And he seek permission for that because during those days, it was not allowed to come at the center at the time of Amrit Vela. So Daddy said, yes, you can come and you can sit and meditate. So the next day, early morning or maybe that same night, that soul was suffering from intense fever, extreme bad conditions, was not able to walk, was not able to sit. In spite of that, look at the power of that soul. In spite of that, his dedication, he took a bath early in the morning and then got ready, went to the center, sat there uh, uh, 4 o'clock for meditation, did all that, and Daddy came. um, and he was not able to walk, he was not able to stand up. Daddy just said that, you are not able to walk. How did you come and how did you sit here? He just said, I wanted to do Amrit Vela and I want to experience something. So it was just 10 minutes, and Daddy said that go, we have another room here. You may rest there, and within 10 minutes, you will be all right. She just said that. And it was actually practically that happened. Like all the pain, all the fever, and everything, whatever that person was experiencing, all just went off. He said that within 10 minutes, I was able to stand up and I wasn't even feeling that I had something earlier. This is the power of purity. I guess it was Dadi Atammohini. Rarely have we heard this name, but yeah, very strong, very powerful thought. And that pure intention of healing somebody, it was just within 10 minutes. Everything just vanished away and he was all right. This is the power of purity. So Baba says, nowadays, so many people continue to wander along to those who have some temporary occult power for a cure or for the mercy of happiness or peace. They think that one's drishti should fall on them even from a distance. However, you have become embodiments of success through the method shown by God. Where will they go when their temporary supports have finished? All of those who have temporary powers continue to attain temporary success with one method of temporary purity or other. That cannot continue for all the time. That too is temporary success achieved as a result of the purity of those, means current, golden, aged souls, that is, of the souls who come down from above at the end by coming from the pure land of liberation and according to the principle of the drama, and so in their Satapradhan stage. Baba is just trying to say that a few souls who come late, right, they experience that stage of Satapradhan, right? Since they have just arrived from the golden age, the land of purity, since they've just come from Paramdham. So they still have that power. And it is because of that they achieve temporary success here. But then even they have to cross all the stages, right? So these powers don't stay for a long time. So it is because of that they achieve so much of success, but it's already temporary, right? Baba says, however, they are souls who pass through their sato, rajo, and tamo, all the three stages, in a short time. This is why they don't experience permanent success. Their success is not attained with the method shown by God. This is why their selfish motives and ego, somewhere or the other, finish their success. However, you pure souls are constant embodiments of success. You are those who enable souls to receive some attainment for all time. You are not those who just show a miracle, but those who make others into sparkling forms of light. You are those who make others into sparkling stars of imperishable fortune. This is why all of those supports are only for a short time, and at the end, they will eventually come to you pure souls to take a drop. So, have you become such pure souls who are mothers of peace and happiness? Have you accumulated such a stock of blessing? Or are you even now asking for blessings for yourself? The example that I just shared on Dadiyata Morning was a result of good stock of blessings that she accumulated and good amount of purity. That's purity accumulated. That's power accumulated. मतलब संकल्प किया और उस आत्मा का भला हुआ. Right? This is the power of purity and the power of blessings. That is what Baba is asking. Have you accumulated such a stock, or you till now keep asking for yourselves? Further, he says, even now, some children continue to ask the Father from time to time, give me some blessings for this, give me good wishes. How can someone who asks for something become a bestower? This point is very deep. Data hai na. So how is it that this sanskar of asking for something is coming inside? This should not be there. Therefore, from now on, know the greatness of the power of purity and become a pure, that is, a worthy of worship deity soul. Do not think that you will become that at the end. This power has been accumulated over a long period of time, will be useful at the end. So do you understand what the deep philosophy of purity is? To be a soul who is constantly a mother of peace and happiness, that is the depth of purity. It is not an ordinary thing. You have become pure and you remain celibate, but purity is the mother. Therefore, it is to become a mother of peace and happiness in your thoughts, attitude, vibration, words, and connection. That is called being a pure soul. So check yourself just to see to what extent you have become this. Action. Today many have come just as water breaks a dam. So you too have broken the dam of laws and come here. However, there is a benefit in the laws. Those who come according to the regulations receive greater benefit, whereas those who just come along with the flow will only receive that much according to the time. Nevertheless, just see how Bapdada, who is free from bondage, comes into bondage. He has the bondage of love. Along with love, there is the bondage of time and also the bondage of the body. However, it is a lovely bondage, and this is why, even though he is in the bondage, he is free. Bapdada would say, welcome, you have come to your home. Acha. So Baba is, we will later take the Yad Pyar. We will just read the paragraph where Baba is meeting the Kumaris. So, to the Kumaris from the Indore hostel, all of you are pure, great souls, are you not? You are many times more elevated than the souls of today who call themselves great souls. Pure Kumaris are always worshipped. So, are all of you always pure and worthy of worship souls? There isn't any type of impurity, is there? Are you souls who constantly live together as loving and cooperative souls who follow the one direction? You know how to harmonize your sanskars, do you know? Because to harmonize sanskars is greatness. Let there be no conflict of sanskars, but always continue to dance the dance of harmonizing sanskars. You have received very good fortune in that you have become great at a young age. You remain constantly happy, do you not? None of you ever cry in your mind, do you? Are you free from attachment? Do you ever remember your Lokik family? Yeah, Baba was asking the little Kumaris. Huh? Are you clever in both studies? Always be number one in both your studies. Just as the Father is one, so you children too must also be number one. You are the number one of all. The Father always loves such children. Do you understand? Acha. To all the supremely pure souls from everywhere, to the pure souls who are constantly mothers of peace and happiness, to the deity souls who, with the power of constant purity, remove the pain and suffering of many souls, to souls who become embodiments of success by using the method shown by God, Bhaktadas love-filled remembrance and namaste. From us, beloved children, to our beloved Bhaktada, love-filled remembrance and namaste. So we will spend a minute in silence and then share points from the movie. Shanti. Om Shanti. And mute and share points from the movie. Om Shanti.
Om
Sister.
Shanti.
Yes,
Yes,
Girija sister, go on.
Oh, okay. When you were just sharing that example of Dadi, of course, scriptures and philosophers, we have seen so many who have lived their life in absolute purity. Like purity of the body, purity of thoughts, purity in their actions, and absolutely not, I won't say devoid of any vices. They don't exist like that on the earth. But there was that purity, especially I have read books, I've read whether it's Ramana Maharishi or each one of them, what is that energy of purity which flows and how energy of purity can heal. The best example which I force is about this. I don't know if you have experienced it, is this Reiki healing. It's an energy healing. And I've seen these Reiki practitioners. It's not necessary that the person whom they heal have to be present in front of them. Actually, what they say is Reiki healing is just filling up the low energy which is there in the other human being because of which illness comes up or stress comes up. So they, through taking the source of energy from the universe, they take it in their palm and they are able to transfer that energy to that person wherever he is. I have not practiced it much, but I've heard, I have friends who have Reiki. So there are such energy healing, there are such examples to say. But let me tell you, these Reiki healers, they have not observed purity as a discipline and all. But once you take up Reiki, there is a particular discipline which is imposed on these people how best they can do Reiki healing. I think it's not, is it a science or is it something, it's something different. So we have come across such this. But here the level of purity, the deep philosophy of purity which Baba speaks, I think it's only maybe 30% to 40% we have understood, because we don't have such miracles over here. We don't have dadis or anyone with occult power with to say, okay, I will see that you become rich, you will become this, or we don't have that what like fast success and all. So we have to really understand what is Baba talking about, this deep philosophy of purity, because this was my original nature. This is what I was before I came, when I came down to the world. Now I'm going back to that world, so I have to adopt that costume. So it's something, a different world of purity, I think. And this deep philosophy and all, even though Baba speaks about pavitrata, 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 we know it's not just celibacy. Celibacy is also there. Why? Because it's transferring my physical desires and energies into other kind of energies, transferring those energies. But I don't know how really to experience or realize this deep philosophy of purity which Shiv Baba has given us. It, of course, there was purity in Copper Age among some of the things, but this final moments of purity, how can I heal? You were talking about this. Can I, if not a Reiki healer, can I really heal these souls in the final moments? Can I really hear the call of Christ? What should I do to this body of mine or to the soul of mine so that that purity really works? It's very difficult to share, sister, this deep philosophy of purity. But I have sailed through this, so I know uska kya hota hai. It's something, fulfilling from the heart which comes out. Om Shanti.
Yes, anybody would like to share
Om Shanti.
or add on? Yes, Om Shanti, brother.
When Baba talks purity, Baba talks about synchronization with mind, body, and soul, and Supreme Soul. This synchronization means, in Hindi we say sur mein hai, or if it is not synchronized, it is said sur mein nahi hai. When it is in sur, it is called music, it is called sangeet, and when it is not in sur, it is called asangati, asangeet, asur. To that, what Baba says, that this surme or sangeet is there when we are in soul conscious state. And when we are in soul conscious state, as the frequency of us and Baba matches, we are connected. And then we start feeling Baba's virtues, divine virtues. And in that sangati, in that sangeet, in that sang with Baba in Sangam Yoga happens only and only when we are soul conscious. Baba के संग का रंग लगता है. And that Baba sang itself is a healing process. What we have lost in sang with Ravana in body conscious. So when we are in soul conscious, we switch over from body conscious to soul conscious. And as we switch over from body conscious to soul conscious, when body conscious connected to Ravana, dukh ka sagar hai. And on the contrary, when connected in a different setting that is called soul conscious, connected to Shiv Baba, who is Anand ka sagar hai. This difference between Dukkha Sagar and Ananda Sagar, two extreme point of negativity, extreme point of positivity, itself is a big difference, the drastic change. So even a person who just enters into a center, any type of person, any person who is not acquainted with Baba's knowledge, still he feels that inner peace. Why? Because this difference. So when Baba talks about purity, Baba talks that mind, body, soul, and Supreme Soul should be in one synchronization. And that's the difference that we feel is a healing process. Om Shanti.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Um, so I heard this story that some mentioned about the Jesus Christ healed a blind man when he touched his eyes and he got his eyesight back. So um, so Jesus, it was mentioned that this Jesus was not sure that whether he will get the eyesight or not, because the man who was standing in front of him had complete faith that if if Jesus touch my eyes, I will definitely get the eyesight back. So there, the faith actually is working as a miracle. So Jesus knew that it was not his power that really worked there; it was his faith that it worked there. So similarly, I suppose when um, Baba says here, when the medicine fails, the soul with pure, as we know, Jesus was a pure man. Like he was observing purity at a very high level. So here also, when souls become pure, observing all the deity qualities, right? So when people come with faith that this will be cured, and of course, the purity and Baba's magic will be working there, I suppose. Yeah. Om Shanti.
A different aspect, yeah.
Even we are hearing the story of Jesus, that a person got the eye. What I feel, it was just the eye of wisdom which Baba gives us. And that eye of wisdom tells us to practice soul conscious, because we do experience, even in one visit to Madhuban or in one visit to certain pure place of purity, we feel the difference. So that wisdom itself gives us the insight that yes, if you maintain purity, if you are in union with Shiv Baba. Similarly, what happened? Dada Likhraj, when got combined with Shiv Baba, became Brahma. That transformation from Dada Likhraj to Brahma. That transformation do take place when we are in union with Baba. And that difference itself makes a difference. See, extreme of negativity, Ravana, and extreme of positivity, Shiva Baba. Simply black and white. When it is black and when it is white. When it is black, it is absorbing everything, सब चीज ले लेता है, सोख लेता है. It is not the giver, it is the taker, levta. On the contrary, when it is white, it reflects everything, devta. And the levta and devta, that asur and sur, that's the difference, which does the magic. It, yes, it is a faith, but when Baba talks about it, it's beyond faith. It's a complete truth that if you practice like this, you will get this. It's not even a hypothesis also that by doing this we get this, because Baba knows past, present, and future. In the world, people do say that you may get healed by taking this medicine, you may take healed by doing this practice, because they are self not sure. Even Jesus was not sure. But when Baba talks about it, the Supreme Father, Parampita Paramatma is talking. He knows everything, past, present, and future. So if he knows that you will be healed, he's aware that yes, you will be healed. And when Baba talks, it talks with full confidence. Faith is there, but truth is also there. We say Satyamev Jayate. Satya ki jeet hoti hai. And Baba knows the truth. Baba knows past, present, and future. Baba knows that with this input, what will be the output. We have learned in physics, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. We do say that it's Newton's law, but actually it is law of karmic philosophy. What that you will sow, the same you will reap. It's a faith, but it's also a truth. Om Shanti.
Sister, if you allow, I just want to add one thing. Let us not forget, it's just a request. Let us not forget, whatever, whether Jesus healed or something, he was also a soul of purity. There was purity. If we see all these processes of healing, purity was there in that soul. That's why we call and Baba says these souls, when they come down for the first time, they are epitomes of purity. Then they go through their various stages and all. So there was purity even in that. I remember I was a part of this healing conferences where different people come and speak about energy. And there was one person, there were so many of these scientists and all. And they said the universe is like a magic laboratory, and there is so much in it, still to be understood, still to be tapped. There are a lot of energy which we have not learned. That is what was the conference. And in that, there was one person who spoke about tachyons. He said he used to come to the center, and he said, I can find a lot of tachyons over here. Now, tachyons is a kind of an energy particle which only if you are a physics person you will well understand. And they came down and they say, so they could find tachyon energy. So wherever there is purity, irrespective of the philosophy it has got its own source, it's got its own healing power. So it's everywhere there is purity, we should not forget. But even this universe, what is the source of that? We are going beyond that to Nirvan Dham. Complete purity, total purity, absolute silence where science cannot travel at all. Science cannot explore that at all. It goes there and stops. So we have reached the zenith now, the end of the cycle. So we come to know going beyond the universe. But let us not discount all these people who have stood for purity, who were epitomes of purity. They have done a beautiful way respecting the universe and acting according to it. Om Shanti.
Mm. So true. Anyway, also Baba has many a times given these examples of um, sannyasis and such souls, right, who have imbibed purity and remained pure throughout their lives. So even they receive those powers, right? But of course, then Baba here differentiates that you follow my Srimat and you work according to what I say. And that is why your uh, purity is just beyond everything because it's through mind, words, actions, right? Not only brahmacharya, but then even the subtle form of purity that Baba has given Srimat for. So that also you children follow. Right. Here, Baba also mentioned in today's Murli that throughout the day, like if we are to take something practically out from this Murli, throughout the day we need to check that if at all I am experiencing any kind of peacelessness, any kind of sorrow, maybe it's not because of somebody else. The outer reason might look like he or she said something to me, and that got my stage, that fluctuated my stage and got me down. But eventually it has to be me, right? Baba said that it is some act of impurity from your end, maybe in your thoughts, maybe in subtle deeds, but it's not somebody else, it's you. It's a very good point of checking that, many a times what happens is uh, there are vague thoughts. Like we are not busy during the work. We don't restrict our thoughts really to think, "Nahi, we are not supposed to think in this way, are not supposed to go that way." But happens, huh? She did wrong, he did wrong, maybe something from the past, maybe something just what has happened just 2, 3 days back that, I was scolded and it was not my fault, but yet I was blamed. So all these thoughts also, these are impure, right? And they somehow, in some percentage, drag me down. They bring my stage down. And so this is something that I really um, took from today. That yes, all the time, keep checking that what wrong did you did, what was wrong here that made you feel low. So any other point?
I just want to ask you, I know time is running. What is this connection between a spiritual moth, that example which Baba has taken, and purity? And secondly, Baba always mentions there is no soul who's 100% pure, not a single soul. Of course, it's only now Brahma Baba is still there, but he has still not taken another body, he's still in the subtle region. So, these two things, why does Baba say not a single soul who's 100% totally, absolutely pure? He is the ocean. Just if some light you can throw in the time available, sister.
Of course, each one is practicing. Yeah, nobody is pure, and throughout the cycle, when you come down, you start losing the energy that you have. But we were eventually pure. We were ultimately pure. So Baba is just trying to bring us uh, close to that stage again. And of course, each one of us is practicing. And the other point that you said is the moth and the flame, no? Shama or Parvan. So that, I believe that it's always the moth going towards the flame और समर्पित हो जाता है ना, उसमें जल जाते हैं, ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना, क्षमा मतलब परवाना क्षमा पर जाकर फिदा हो जाता है, जल जाता है. It means he doesn't care. It doesn't cares that what is going to happen next to me, right? So Baba takes that example of, he connects us to him, saying that तुमको भी ऐसा ही, even you have to come like this to me, right? No if and no but. So that kind of क्या बोला समर्पण, that kind of that surrender होना, जिसको बाबा के आगे कहते हैं. So maybe it's because of that. Yeah, others also can add on if you wish to. What sister has asked.
Om Shanti. It's a very wonderful example of Sama and Parvana. Actually, when the moth comes, Swaha ho jata hai. In Bhakti, when we do Yagya, we do Swaha of jaw, til and all that. But in here, when Baba comes, when the master comes, हम उसके पास स्वाहा हो जाते हैं. Swaha means actually the process of swaha is that we follow the swaman and we become wafadar, agyakari, and haji. That is the transformation process, the way of transformation. Actually, the body conscious, कहते हैं ना जल जाता है, जला देते हैं, जल जाते हैं, स्वाहा हो जाते हैं. बॉडी कॉन्सियस देहभान को खत्म करते हैं, देहभान को खलाते हैं. देह को जलाते नहीं है, देहभान को जलाते हैं. जब देहभान जब जल जाता है, when the body conscious gets swaha, you become soul conscious. That is the basic transformation. The impurity is due to body conscious, not due to body conscious. And when the body conscious becomes swaha, you become pure. That's what Baba means. So when you are coming to Baba, one come with the thing that yes, I am coming here to a master who will make me pure. That means who will make me pure. If you have got that Nishya Buddhi, Baba, you will follow Baba's Srimad, Baba's process, that SOP of becoming pure. So if we follow Baba's Srimad and we really become Swaha, that is burning of our body consciousness and resulting into soul consciousness, to that Baba comes. जब कलयुग का अति होता है, when that Baba comes and takes us to a place which is called Satyug, that is free from all hindrances, free from all negativities, free from Kam, Krodh, Lomo, and Ahankar. That is, we say in one line that Baba frees us from body consciousness. Because body consciousness is nothing but it is rigidity. Baba, that melts that rigidity. It is said that when you are in yoga with Baba, that yoga agni melts that rigidity and makes liquidity, and then it gasifies, it withers out. उड़ जाता है. From rigidity, that is from solid to liquid, and the liquid to gas. And it वो उड़ जाता है. And then in that process, we are left with that soul consciousness, the purest form, the original form. And when we are in the original form, in the original setting, that is called soul conscious setting, which the master does. And only if all the body conscious is over, then only the setting works. Actually, that samarpan is a nice word, but in that samarpan, what happens? The first condition that I am a soul. It's not for memorizing, it's not for telling, but it's for practicing. And if we do it, we become pure. And due to that only, we become Devta from Levta. Because when we are body conscious, we need more and more. Chahiye, chahiye, chahiye. But when we become soul conscious, when all the body consciousness is burnt, khatam ho gaya, we are connected to Baba. And when we are connected to Baba, that Sankaran, that run comes here, that rung of purity. See, when the blackboard is dirty, nothing can be written. But by yoga, when that body conscious is burned, the blackboard becomes very clean and clear. When the blackboard becomes clean and clear, that imprint of Baba's Sankaran comes. And that does the magic and takes us to a land of paradise and takes us to Satyuga. And we do transform from Levta to Devta, from Asur to Sur. Om Shanti.
Yes, wonderfully explained. And also in just one line, where Geza sister said that why does Baba mention about not there's not even one soul who's pure. It is maybe that one factor also comes here, that even while each one of us is going to reach that stage of purity, all of us are going to have a very different stage. And Baba knows this. Of course, we are going to reach the stage of purity. Everybody will do that. But the purity of each one of us will be very, very, very different. And that is what is something that is going to form the basis of, whatever the pad or whatever Baba says in the Satyug. So that will be for sure. सबको डिग्री मिलेगी, but marks हर किसी के अलग अलग होंगे. It's because of that also. Just one point.
Yeah,
Okay,
before
so
we close, just one quick announcement about the Sunday sessions as well. So, yeah, so I'll just quickly share my screen. So, yeah, so this Sunday we have a special masterclass scheduled by Sister P.K. Sona from Abu Dhabi, and the topic would be from detachment to divinity. So this flyer will be shared in the WhatsApp groups, and so request everyone to attend and take complete benefit of the session. Yeah, thank you, Sister. Over to you for meditation, short meditation. Yeah.
So let's take a moment reflecting on purity. Reaching Madhuban in just a second. I look at myself in Dada's room, where I experience his pure love. I look at myself inside the kutia, Baba ki chopdi, where I transform all my relationships based on pure love. I go to the history hall with the thought that all my vision, my attitude is becoming pure, absolute pure. And I reach the Shanti Sthan, where I am being filled with the power of immense purity. I will move forward with this thought that I am an angel of purity. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Deepika Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a lovely day.